Value stream management systems work well at providing guidance for coaching and leadership of cross-functional technology teams. But digging a little deeper, one might ask, how exactly is this information going to be used? VSM as a methodology aspires to focus on business value and bottom line results, but still has emerging capability, integrations, and expanding use cases. One such use case which greatly benefits from informed, data-driven planning is Agile software development methods. One of Agile's strengths is its routine-based orientation. On a regular basis, the team members meet to conduct work planning, delivery review, and reflection, also called continuous inspection and adaptation. VSM can be an excellent complement to these activities. Depending on your exact Agile methodology, planning is conducted for upcoming iterations or even larger multi-iteration periods called program increments. During iteration planning, the Scrum Master or other development leader will use a calculated average amount of work completed by the team in previous iterations and take this value and other factors into account to help select appropriately sized stories for the team to work on with an overall iteration goal in mind. Trust between the development team, business stakeholders, and users is critical to Agile success, and regularly achieving these sprint goals goes a long way in building trust. The better the data used for this planning, the higher the likelihood of sprint success.
Let's take a look at some key VSM metrics within HCL Accelerate, which can be used to support Agile routines. Typically, Agile team velocity is calculated by looking back at the volume of story points the team has completed in prior sprints, which can be very useful to calculate the team's capacity for the upcoming iteration. Within HCL Accelerate and the Insights functionality, we have reporting available, such as the State of the Sprint report. With VSM and this reporting in Accelerate, we have access to more extensive set of data to use for the planning, including story points completed, number of source code contributors, and other potentials such as lines of code, build and deployment completed within the iteration, and a number of others. With this broader contextual data, it makes it much easier for the team to plan for sprint success. Stories to be built, tested, and implemented in a single iteration window. The sprint team needs to be able to hit the ground running. For systems that have complex value streams, this may mean required input from a number of contributing teams outside of the core group, including architecture, UI UX, or information security, to name a few. These teams themselves may have their own workflow process, creating a workflow of workflow scenario that needs to be managed. HCL Accelerate allows for the aggregation of these multiple team workflows to be reflected on a single screen, which can prevent that dreaded blank stare on day one of a sprint, with stories that aren't sprint ready. Value stream data, more than anything, should reflect the truth. Sometimes unplanned production or customer support issues can disrupt a sprint and prevent the completion of sprint goals. Instead of simply reacting like firefighters to these situations, with VSM, we have data from prior iterations to help predict future unplanned work. One method to anticipate and account for such disruptions is to analyze the load distribution or issue types to set aside a calculated quantity of reserved capacity for the team to respond to these types of critical requests in the future. Additionally, within an active sprint value stream view, we can see the distribution of work across multiple sources with separate workflows, which may show problems on the horizon. These metrics are just a few examples of the way in which VSM can benefit Agile development teams, but there are many more along the path from idea to implementation that can help teams deliver on their promises, build trust, and create jaw-dropping customer delight.